To understand how we ended up in the muddle we find ourselves in, we need travel back to easier times, and from there our story can begin. Cameron starts with the words, "To be clear, far too long immigration's been too high." He was sowing the seeds of distrust and fear, and gradually began to imply issues found from the global recession were not to blame for stagnant progression. Your Polish neighbour has taken your job. It's nothing to do with the banking mob. Sober, comprehensive and effective was this clown's plan to cut immigration. Sober, comprehensive and effective was the damage he did to the nation. Who is this now knocking at our door? I do hope we've brought some prosperity. It's a man with accounts laden offshore, says it's time to endure some austerity. And on Cameron went for 6 long years, driving up the debt, pushing the arrears, push ideologies with undertones, appealing to fascists and homophobes. We've not even arrived at the Brexit vote, where Cameron advised would best remain. Found a lanky old witch of a scapegoat who continued to defiantly blame millions of people in poorer countries who would love to come and live in Britain. Never mind if they're here for the studies the nation had already bitten. Unemployment and the housing crisis. They came on a boat, probably ISIS, reminiscent of that dead iron wench promoting fascism from the front bench. Theresa made claims that immigration had a value that was close to zero, further promoting the chastisation, nurturing hate, allowing it to grow. These sentiments repeated in papers, perpetuated by those in power, showing fellow humans as invaders every minute, every hour, every day until Johnson arrives, keeping the factions of racism alive. He boils the pot till it's up on the surface. The man's a disgrace, but he serves a purpose. The purpose of driving up fascist views, making it increasingly acceptable. With the backing of the national news, the people are much more susceptible. The guy at the top is an absolute cunt, a track record of being a racist. So don't be surprised when the National Front come and claim the views are not baseless. It's clear to see, at least to me, that this is Tory strategy, to lay the blame firmly at the door, those who are weak and tired and poor. It's easy subtracting empathy from a man with nothing to his name and creating him an identity that's founded on the other and blame. And so we navigate dangerous times where the narrative is one filled with hate and the government continues to commit crimes which the media facilitate. The seeds have been sown, the plant has grown, the nest is empty, the chick has flown, it reared its ugly cuckoo head. Thanks for the food, thanks for the bed. I've waited in the shadows in silence, watching grow hatred and violence, listening to the notions of blame, landing in those halls of fame. Fame that's tainted with blood and war, famous for the death and gore. One we vowed should never be repeated. Yet here is Johnson, a racist, undefeated.